This video is intended to describe the crystalline structure of a light blade talisman named Seraphim. I will start with the main blade banding consisting of tourmalated quartz and Seraphim. Seraphim Knight. Actually, very much in theme with the archetypal construct of this device is the seraphic nature of this entire broadcast. Tourmalated quartz is clear quartz with black tourmaline strands within the matrix, which makes a very powerful purification of the entire auric field. It takes the quartz neutrality that stimulates the entire energy resonant chakric system of the human morphic field, then has black tourmaline in there to make a very strong grounding of all this excess energy into a positive, useful frequency. Think of it as a kind of like a etheric filter, if you would, to dismantle any negative energy pattern cohesions. Also, the quartz acting as a subcapacitor to engage the sequence of the seraphinite, like so, in the ignition sequence. Seraphinite itself is one of the most powerful stones for healing in our age in this timeline. It strongly stimulates the entire chakric column into patterns of wholeness and imbues angelic vibrations through the entire energy structure of the energy template pathway meridian field. So the ignition point of the seraphinite with the tourmalated quartz makes very powerful healing and acceleration of that frequency while purifying it into the earth plane meridian matrix for reprocessing. And continuing along the main blade band right here is the transmutation ignition sequence, which consists of smoky quartz and hematite running laterally like so, up the sides right here, lateral once again before it completes this circuit right here. And the transmutation blade band ignition ratio is designed to take all stray energies, ground through the base with the hematite, that is, and then ground them through the earth stars into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing and grounding. Smoky quartz works in tandem to further purify the energy into a more useful frequency. You can think of it as a charcoal filter, if you would, to filter energies in tandem with the hematite to make sure all the excess radial energy is grounded through the base chakra into the earth stars, triangulating into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. So all this excess energy goes into Mother Earth. And continuing the main blade band itself, up here is prehnite and quartzite. Quartzite is actually calcite with quartz in its matrix, which has the programmability and neutrality of quartz with the calcite matrix, which makes a very clearing pattern, particularly in the white ray spectrum, which hits every single color octave to clear the patterns in ignition sequence with the prehnite, which is a very prominent third and fourth activation stone. It's a very soothing earth and water stone that's very, very calming to the emotional heart and is very much a very powerful analog frequency alignment to the force of Raphael, the healing archangel of the green ray. So having that in tandem with the seraphim makes a very nice frequency pitch bandwidth that taps directly into the force of Raphael the archangel in tandem. And that is where the necklace will go. So on this blade face right here, we'll get to the very apex of the tip being fulgurite. This is petrified lightning that has been utilized by shamans of old to intensify prayers for millennia. So utilizing this frequency wire wrapped into a primary wire, it dramatically intensifies the entire energy output of the light by awakening since it holds the power of lightning. So that is very powerful for intensification of manifestation or intensification of prayers by having the force of lightning running through the circuitry. And right here is Libyan gold tektite. Libyan gold tektite is a stone of antiquity famously used by the pharaohs of old to be carved into scarab beetles to be the central power plates of their breastplates they wear for their magical royalty aspects, much like this technology is derived from. Libyan gold tektite dramatically intensifies the stimulation of the sacrum and the solar plexus due to its gold-rayed nature, yet that's where the main focus is, but it actually illuminates and activates the entire chakra column with gold-white light. And is very intense for your solar plexus intensification of your will or intention to be highlighted through dramatic effect. This right here is moldavite. Moldavite is a legendary green ray stone that has gained quite an infamous reputation for its ability to change one's life into a spiritual purpose. that can be rather dramatically intensive on the outer world. As the false self matrix falls way to the one's highest spiritual path, moldavite by itself can be rather volatile and chaotic to rapidly align one to their higher spiritual path. So the goal with all these different buffers, stabilizers, and transmuters is to get the most out of this dharmic, cosmic destiny alignment stone while smoothing out all the vibrations to get the most out of it without having the vibrational effects of chaos from one's life falling apart, all because it's aligning to your higher spiritual purpose. So you get a nice dose of that, yet it runs through a very complicated subroutine to mitigate any undesirable external outcomes from one's spiritual progression into their true spiritual self. And next to that is lapis lazuli, a famous stone particularly used in the antiquity of Egypt for magical purposes. Is a very powerful 5th and 6th chakra stimulation stone. It is a wind elemental stone and is very prominent for spiritual insight, to see the energetic manifestations that have caused any kind of dis-ease of any variant, to have the wisdom to see it, then the wisdom to speak it clearly. You can think of it as almost like a very powerful intuition enhancement of one's true wisdom of higher knowledge manifest, as well as a very powerful stone for past life recall and application of those past life lessons applied to this current incarnation. And down here is selenite. Selenite is a lovely gypsum clearing stone that predominantly affects the 6th and 7th chakras all the way to your higher self cohesion of spirit. Yet it clears any densities through the entire etheric body so that these patterns do not reproduce in any kind of dis-ease. And being utilized in a vibratory construct template, the current of selenite also will take whatever frequency running around it and will purify it, amplify, and harmonize it simultaneously. So the use of selenite in this construct of varied frequencies is essential. And down here is black, green, orange, and blue kyanite. The 4 spectrums of kyanite are very rapid energy transference devices in the mineral kingdom. So naturally, as they're all hardwired to one device, such as so, in a contained vibratory ignition circuit, if you would, they make very rapid transfers of energy. So you can think of this aspect like enhancing the spiritual Teflon aspect, where nothing really sticks to the auric field from super intense rapid transfers of energy, that nothing really stagnant can actually resonate and stick with that emanation. The black kyanite strongly grounds the base and the earth stars into the radiant matrix. So it's like a quick auto-calibration of the kyanites to be able to disperse the right amount of energy at any given moment for any situation the wielder of this device finds themselves in, to maintain their impeccable vibratory output. The orange kyanite dramatically intensifies the sacrum to higher pathways of creativity. The green kyanite rapidly expands the heart to higher nature aspects. The blue kyanite strongly stimulates the third eye, prefrontal lobes, neural pathway network to their highest optimized configuration. So, like I've mentioned a few times in this video thus far, having the rapid transfer of all this radial energy throughout the entire field also makes a transference to one's projective palm chakra of those that they're serving. So whoever's wielding this, anybody that's under their jurisdiction, will get this ambient healing seraphic broadcast by osmosis as a background passive format talisman wearable program, if you would. That makes the transfers of this energy very rapid with the kyanite spectrums. On the other side right here is a larger piece of seraphinite to be a major focus of the energy of this aspect of this device, much like the main blade band itself. Like I mentioned, seraphinite is a stone named after the Seraphim angels, and so it makes a very powerful healing template through the entire chakra column through a green ray focus, which naturally affects the heart chakra, which also affects the governance of the energy and etherealizes the blood to run the circulation on the physical template of a higher healed, impeccable healing frequency. Seraphinite is very powerful for producing new patterns of high optimized spiritual health on a cellular level, and also discharging any subtle aspects of disease that can come from many different metaphysical implications. So the healing aspect of this stone is really quite legendary, and is great to be utilized in the frequency broadband of this entire construct. For the person who wields this device works with many for their health. So obviously this is designed to be a very powerful just background frequency program to assist their endeavors to assist those they serve. And right here, speaking of more seraphic stuff, this is infinitite, a very rare specialty version of serpentine that comes from South Africa. Serpentine by itself makes a very powerful Kundalini awakening through the entire chakra column, all the way through the whole light body stimulation, but the infinitite has a specialty aspect where it has a very special way to decrystallize stuck energetic patterns of stagnativity and repatterns them to their optimal wholeness of the entire chakra column. So of course, that being utilized in tandem with such a heavy seraphic frequency makes a very powerful holy healing energy sensation in tandem with this rest of this ignition order. And right here is blue sapphire. Blue sapphire, another stone of antiquity utilized by royalty of old to convey wisdom with the fifth chakra as well as insight from the sixth. Much like the lapis lazuli mentioned, it's a complementary tandem blue ray frequency. And is a corundum, which means the atomical rate is oftentimes an 8.5 to a 9 on the hardness scale, which means the atoms are very dense in that exact frequency focus of the blue ray. So that's also why it's known as Stone of Kings and Queens, to invoke royal insight on the situation, which is applicable for the wielder of this device to be able to see and sense the underlying aspects, whatever's plaguing those they serve, and be able to assist them in a very logical, wisdom-based manner to be the maximum effectiveness for those they serve. And to further enhance the fifth ray capacity of the fifth chakra, if you would, is classic turquoise. That obviously affects the fifth chakra based on its blue ray continuity. Turquoise is a lovely stone of wholeness based on the aspect of it embodying earth, fire, water, and wind, the four elements in the fifth ray focus. So that's also why it's highly acclaimed by First Nation tribes for being a stone of heaven and different aspects of truth. Hence the blue ray aspect of wholeness. This right here is red jasper. Red jasper strongly stabilizes the base chakra in the earth plane in the most stable format just about possible. So obviously all this high frequency energy, having all these stabilizing subroutines will be very essential for a long-term passive advantageous program for the wielder of this device and those they serve, once again. And right there, the red jasper stabilizes the base chakra to ensure the root is stabilized as it grounds the excess radial energy. This right here is scoicite, a lovely white ray stone of divinity that has a strong emphasis on the 6th and 7th chakras of the wind elemental spectrum, and also the soul star, the one's connection to the spirit and to their higher self nature, or the witness self, if you would, of their divine presence. And the scoicite on a more physical level has a lovely brain chemistry regulation effect to optimize perfect serotonin levels, for example, which is essential for health. How you feel is also how the emanation of your vibration broadcasts. So that's very useful as a transferable program to have this construct of divine crown awakening, higher self aspect, and serenity, inner peace from that union with creation. And right here is ruby and zoisite. Ruby, quite famously a stone of the red ray, used in antiquity as well, has a very intensive, strong stimulation to the base chakra, almost unsurpassed in the mineral kingdom, of intense, dense red ray octave. Combining the zoisite, which is actually green tanzanite, has a very powerful heart-mind coherence linker. So when you have the trifecta of ruby, signaling the base and the heart-mind of one's true self manifesting forward, makes a very dynamic shift towards one's perfect energy output, which is one's heaven on earth. So that by itself is a very powerful stone, and perfectly in tandem with the sapphire to be the red ray and blue ray antithesis for the stimulation of hydrogen and oxygen in the body, which is perpetual regeneration. This right here is fire agate. Fire agate is a fire elemental stone that strongly stabilizes the base, the sacrum, and the solar plexus, the lower three chakras, which is very much the in-the-body zest for life, enthusiasm, frequency, in a very stabilized manner. And over here is the legendary Shungite, a black gray stone that's quite in vogue right now. It is a carbon-based stone of the black ray, which obviously stimulates the Earth stars, grounding the energy into the Earth plane, and works very much like a charcoal filter based on its carbon nature to purify any negativity into positivity. And particularly in this timeline, it has great relevance for being the most effective 5G radio energy mitigator that can keep the subtle DNA of the auric field impeccably cleansed from radio electromagnetic interference. So very useful in many ways. This right here is black tektite. Black tektite is a very powerful cosmic origin stone. It's the result of a meteorite impacting sand and capturing that extraterrestrial cosmic jolt through the heat wave of cooking this into glass. It's a very powerful black ray stone that stimulates from the Earth stars, from the Earth plane, all the way up the system. So very another powerful light body activator, but luckily it's a black ray aspect that has a nice balance to keep it grounded as this high frequency energy runs through the chakra meridian matrix. This right here is moss green agate. All agates and jaspers, for that matter, in this video in general, are the most stabilized variants of the frequency bandwidth they have. That's hence the utilization of all the stability underneath the hood where this white leather will be installed, is to make the frequency output very stabilized for long-term passive gains that are very stable and slow and steady. I digress, as usual. Moss green agate right here has a nice stabilizing effect to the heart and the base, which is the platform of idyllic health by itself right there, in a very stabilized water elemental aspect. Moss green agate also stabilizes one's template to their perfected vibratory output in a very stabilized manner by stabilizing the heart to one's higher etheric nature, their natural perfected factory setting, if you would, before anything has occurred in their life of imprintations. Stabilizes that highest vibratory output. So very useful in such a healing frequency green ray focus of a seraphic device. This right here is blue lace agate. Blue lace agate strongly stabilizes the fifth chakra, so when one's speaking or teaching or serving, their wisdom is stabilized in this aspect to be able to speak without effort, is the intended goal of that construction design right there. This is labradorite. Labradorite is a lovely potassium feldspar-based stone that looks like it kind of has shadows sometimes. Not a good example, it's a very small specimen, but the utilization of labradorite is very powerful for magical insight in tandem with lapis lazuli to perceive with their intuition and just kind of know things through magic, if you would, of the ailments that have manifested in different dysfunctions that are compromising the energetic integrity of the person in question being served. So be a very powerful stone for the insight of that aspect. As well as just magical intention and magic in general. Just say that lightly. Right here is the main engine. The main engine is golden healer quartz, which is a very lovely gold white light Christ frequency energy generator, which aligns one's heart to the heart of creation, or the crystalline self. So having that massive connection to the source of creation as the main engine in an analog format is a lovely aspect to run through this entire circuitry by keeping all the energy attuned to the source. I believe that is just about all the crystal compositions taken care of in this video. And the main core itself is oak from my lovely backyard. Hi, Oakie. Somewhere out there, right there. And that is the main core based on the dense atomical rate to run such a high frequency energy, to have the wood core being a stabilizing element of the wood band based on the carbon ray, which is resonant with our human DNA template, as well as our physical avatar's dense atomical rate. I believe that covers it all. So in conclusion, Seraphim is designed to be a very lovely, full energy spectrum stimulator for the entire auric field, and to strongly imbue a very angelic seraphic frequency within the wielder of this device as they go about their endeavors and their quest to help others to fortify their field and anchor it firmly with high seraphic vibrations of the archangels to assist them on their quest of healing, wholeness, regeneration, and to, most importantly, be the very essence of health on a stick, if you would, in a vibratory circuit manner, to embody that health impeccably. As they serve others, they become the model of health. That model of health is, in theory, transferable to whoever is under their jurisdiction, is the big intention of this seraphic healing device. 1,000 blessings. I pray that anyone watching this has a great day.